You know, I watch Shark Tank all the time.
See, I knew I liked you.
And then I often, depending on, because, you know, there are a lot of reruns, I'll look it up to see how the company's doing.
Well, hopefully mine are doing well.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you, Mark?
Good. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So excited to talk to you.
I am excited to talk with you.
So I know it's a grind with an MBA season going city to city. So what does it feel like? I mean, just physically.
You know, long days. I start every day. I work out every morning.
And what's your workout?
Elliptical. And then I go all day long.
And are you just exhausted at the end of the day?
You know, your body doesn't lie to you when you first wake up in the morning.
Yep.
And then your brain kicks in and says, oh, everything will be fine, right?
And that workout just gets you going.
And it gets me going every morning.
So here's the other question I did want to ask. We've talked about tech and innovation, how important it is to the economy and just dominating globally, right? Do you ever geek out at all?
All the time.
So tell me about that.
So my mother was a scientist, right? So I grew up as a kid going to the lab. I grew up seeing her have a passion about, she wanted to end breast cancer. She wanted to find a cure, and she did make breakthroughs in breast cancer research.
That's amazing.
And that's where the source of my geeking
it all
out,
comes from, right? But so now I got to ask, you know, I was at your speech in Pittsburgh, and you talked about it took only a year to build the Empire State Building. And then you said that you were going to cut permitting, you were going to cut the time for licenses,
the red
for
tape.
all the red tape. So how do
down.
we take that and use it to cut the deficit?
So part of it is we cannot be rote in terms of how we think about deficits to say government spends too much. Because I think that is overly simplistic.
I agree.
We have to ask, are we spending it in a smart way such that we are yielding a return on that investment?
Just like a regular business.
But this is exactly right.
I get all that right. So here's kind of the angle I always look at tariffs on. I've known Donald Trump 25 years. He used to be okay on trade policy, but over the last 25 years, he's just lost it.
I don't think he pays attention to the details, and you can't be president of the United States
unless you pay attention to the details.
Yeah, that's fine if he wants to, you know, just give speeches in random places for random reasons. But to talk about such significant policy like tariffs, much less foreign policy, he is applying a machete when a scalpel is what's necessary.
It makes no sense to me whatsoever. To me, I think Donald Trump is the Grinch that stole Christmas. This time next year, we're going to be thinking about Christmas presents for all of our kids. And if he puts a 60% tariff on everything from China, those prices are going up. And now all of a sudden, your vision of everything you wanted to have for your kids at Christmas is gone. Donald Trump just crushed it. And it's not just crushing people's Christmases. Those small companies that support communities, now all of a sudden, not only did their costs go up 60%, but their businesses were just shot.
Right.
He is going to put who knows how many small businesses out of business.
Goldman Sachs, Moody's, Wall Street Journal most recently, 16 Nobel laureates have all examined our policies. Mine, as has been reviewed, will strengthen the economy. His will weaken it. It will incite inflation and invite a recession by the middle of next year, Mark.
I don't think he's ever run a company where you have to go deal with the fundamental basis of your business. He has no clue. And the worst part is he doesn't care.
You know, let's not forget he was handed so much of what he's had and has lost it. And he doesn't understand how people like you and so many others, and this is what I love about the American people, who are hardworking, who have grit, who are innovative, and who start with nothing. And make something. And that's something he doesn't get.
No, obviously I've been investing in startups forever. When I work with these companies, it's their whole life. They've given up something, and he doesn't realize that this person has worked 5 years, 10 years to save up enough money to start this business, or they just went for it. And he doesn't get that, and that's where the tax credit, and that's the other reason why talking about childcare and daycare, being able to have $6,000. So if you have a child and a newborn, you can keep on working.
A crib and a car seat. How are they going to actually afford, especially during that first year of the child's life? Right now, for so many of Gen Z, Gen X, the idea of the American dream is really elusive. It was an older concept.
It's tough.
And a big part of it being housing supply. We don't have enough. And so the prices go up. That's why I want to build more housing supply, but also work with developers and home builders to cut the red tape and to get them
hardcore
tax credits.
Hardcore entrepreneurs. Yeah, I think that is so important because, you know, One of the questions I get all the time is about work-life balance.
Yeah.
Because it's a challenge. You know, you've got to pay the mortgage, you've got to pay the rent, whatever, you got to pay the car payment and insurance. It's a tough decision to go start a business. Having a $6,000 tax credit gives you the comfort that you can get somebody to help your child. You can have some work-life balance.
Right.
And I don't think he's never been in that situation. Not all those people started like Donald Trump with a silver spoon, right?
course
These are
not.
people putting their life on the line.
It's that energy and that grit, to your point, that is going to spur us into the future, right? Because here's the other thing about entrepreneurs. You can't be a successful entrepreneur without actually thinking about where are things going.
Look, we're here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and we're going to be talking to a bunch of kids. And I guarantee you, one of them is going to start a business, and that business just might be the next Nike, might be
Right.
it's those kids that are going to change the world, invent the next technology.
The idea of knowing that it is possible for us, if we work and study something, that we can create something that improves and uplifts the human condition,
Of course.
that excites me to no end. Like that's where I see where we could actually combine a lot of our areas of focus.
For sure. And I wanted to let you know that as an entrepreneur, as an investor, as a geek, the things that you're doing matter. I'm getting more and more people emailing me, calling me, saying, maybe she really understands what it takes to be an entrepreneur, what it takes to be successful. And I know you've committed to that, so it's awesome.